Hi everyone. This is a new week from the pranic consciousness process, and it's so good to be able to join you again via this online method. I hope you had a wonderful week since our last webinar, and I hope you are all here with us. Those of you who aren't ready yet, we're going to take some time for you to be able to grab some pen and paper and tell your friends and family that you're having your hour of power, your moment of personal growth. So let everyone know, shut the doors, make sure that you're comfortable in your space and prepare for this meeting because we're going to share some important insights tonight about how to get to a lighter diet and to a pranic diet. I know all of you are interested in that because that's why you probably joined the pranic consciousness process. So it's one of the peak webinars of this process, but also a theme that I very much like to talk about because I love to talk about healthy nutrition and how to get lighter in general and lighter in our diet. And yeah, it's been an interesting week to be able to see how things are recalibrating. Last week we talked about mind mastery and how to deprogram and reprogram our mindsets in order to obtain the best results in our lives. Well, I would love to hear from you. Those of you who are on YouTube, you know you can join the chat box next to the video to share your insights with us on how you perceived the last webinar, which was last Wednesday, and what are the results you had with it, with that practice that we told you about in the last workshop, because we talked about how to master the mind, how to reprogram it, how to do some changes in your mindset to attain better results, and so on. So, welcome everyone. I see you are joining more and more, and please feel free to write in the chat box next to this video. It's the right on the video. Feel free to write your name and the place you are joining us from. I would love to know that about you. I would love to know who is joining us tonight live. Those of you who weren't able to join live the pranic consciousness process will be able to watch the recording in the next weeks whenever they want. So for those of you who are new, this is an 8-week process. You can join via a link that we are going to share in this chat box. So this is how you can join the full 8-week webinar. And by joining the whole process, you are able to either participate live to the webinars or watch them at home anytime you want, repeat them anytime you want, so that you get the full the best of them whenever you want from the comfort of your home. So this is how it's going to be tonight. Every webinar is having some insights, is having some questions time towards the end. And in the middle of the webinar, we're also having a meditation, a guided meditation or a guided exercise, where we learn more about our inner world, about the energy fields. And today we will practice in that meditation also a little pranic nourishment. So every time we practice this pranic nourishment exercise, but probably today we'll insist more on it, and we'll learn more on how to be really nourished by prana. For those of you who maybe are completely new to this concept, we know that we are energy, and most of our physical appearance is also made by energy, because at the core of our cells there are actually neutrons and electrons and protons, and that's energy. So if you go to the core of the matter, you actually find energy. and that's what we're made of. And because we're made of that, we can as well be nourished by that. So at the core of our being, we are literally nourished by energy. Um, Along the centuries, the type of energy that we were nourished by became denser and denser as our bodies become denser and denser. So there is a story or a saying that when we first came on Earth as a civilization, we were very light and very conscious, and we were able to feed ourselves differently. So those of you who maybe remember of the civilizations of Lemuria or the Atlanteans, you might have heard that they had a different way of nourishing themselves, and that they were of course they were of course able to tap into different type of nourishment, energy nourishment, that they were able to nourish their body from. So the body was a little different in respect to the way it was built, and their nourishment necessities were different as well. In the meantime, civilizations has evolved in terms of discovering the planet, but it has also changed in terms of consciousness, awareness, and of course in terms of how uh, we are nourished as civilization. So our energy got denser, our bodies got denser, more material. We changed our body into the carbon structure along the time, and our fuel. So the food intake got also denser. We got to the meat-based diet for a long period of time, and so on. And the aspect that we can be nourished by energy has been long forgotten. So for those of you who are new to this, if I am going to start saying that I know many people that are nourished by energy alone without the need of taking physical food, and that I myself have times when I don't have the need of taking physical food, this will be very bizarre to some of you. But some others of you who are familiar with these concepts and probably are visiting our websites and our pages a lot know about this concept, and know with scientific demonstrations and also spiritual insights as well, know that this is a possibility and that this is available for those interested. So the possibility of us being nourished by energy or light or chi or prana, however you want to call it, mana and so on, is available for for all the people to various degrees. So some of us might not need to take physical food at all. So I have many friends that have years and years, maybe decades, of not having the need of taking physical food. And you can see all of them on the Pranic Consciousness Summit page. So they are real, and they are interviewed by us, and you can see their testimonials and their methods, and they shared with us their experience with this type of lifestyle. So if you want to go to the Pranic Consciousness Summit page, which I will link to you below, next to the video, you can see them there, and even watch their conferences and their testimonials if you participate to that package. So the people who are in this lifestyle, in this rhythm, are real and are existing on this planet for more than maybe 10 or 20 years that I know of. There are people who have had this lifestyle for more than 10 or 20 years. And we have interviewed them and invited them to the festivals that we have organized, so that many of us can get in contact with this lifestyle and know how it is possible. Because the paradigm that people are still dying of hunger or or strongly believe that only physical food can nourish them is a paradigm that has to be changed, because this possibility has been on earth before and it can be on earth again. So that's an aspect of the pranic nourishment, the possibility of being nourished by from an alternate source of energy. That's the first aspect of pranic nourishment. Another aspect of the pranic nourishment is that you can have this alternate source of energy, so the prana, the chi, the mana, as nourishment, and you can use physical food as fun, as pleasure, as a way of communing with people, or as a way of sharing good stuff with your dear ones. When you share a piece of cake or a cup of tea, it's such a beautiful moment, and you can still use that for social communion. That's another aspect of the pranic nourishment. Another aspect of the pranic nourishment is that some people are nourished mainly by physical food, but not as much as common people. So the common people, the mainstream belief is that you need 3 meals a day and snacks in between to be nourished and healthy, whereas pranic people, or people who know about this reality, have maybe 1 meal a day or one light meal every 2 days, and they are very okay with that. Or some of them have only juices or just fruits as nourishment, and they are very okay with that. My diet now consists on mainly juices and smoothies. So mixes of by smoothies I mean mixes of juices and seeds, nuts, almonds, and so on. And from time to time, I like to have bread and olives. It reminds me of things. And, so little snacks from time to time that I have with my friends, and that I also use sometimes for grounding. But my main nourishment is now composed by juices and smoothies and mixes of greens and superfoods that I use in my smoothies and so on. And I'm very healthy, very happy with this type of nourishment. I also like to have in my diet all kinds of purees and things that are fluid, that I don't need to use digestion for. And it has been like this for a while. I have been testing on and off with this type of nourishment for some years now. I've had months with this type of nourishment and months with maybe one type of solid food per day, like for example a salad or a quick snack or a small, mostly vegan snacks and mostly raw. But mainly in the past few months, I like to have juices, and it's a very good way of juices and soups, and it's a very good way of nourishing for me. So this is possible, and I have a very intense activity. I travel a lot. You can see on my pages that I'm probably all over the world. In a month, I can visit several countries and meet hundreds of people and hold conferences and healing sessions and write books. I'm writing my 5th book now, and painting and so on. So I have a normal towards intense life. And this is the type of food that nourishes me in this moment. I might go back to solid food if necessary, I might not. It depends. Sometimes I go out with friends and have quick snacks with them, or salads, or so on. But most of the time, this is what I use in my home, and my blender is my best cooking device. It's a possibility. It's a way of life. It's a type of extracting energy. It's not something that I advise people to do in their homes without the necessary preparation. So if you hear about this possibility, please know that it requires training. So this is not something you just start doing since starting tomorrow or starting today, and exclude physical food from your life and hope that your body will be okay. Because if your body is not ready, or if the emotional body is not ready, or the mental body is not trained to know that this is a possibility and to overcome the other paradox that say that you will die without solid food. If these three things are not, checked, you might have serious health problems. So do not try this at home without the appropriate training, because it might hurt you badly. The things that we did in order to attain this state is that we had years and years of practice with our body and with our spiritual aspect and with our energy self, in order for us to be able to feel energy and to be able to harness it and channel it through our bodies, and to also teach our body that food is that light is nourishment and juices are nourishment. So for mind and the emotional body and the physical body that are strongly used to this paradigm that you die without physical food, quitting the usage of physical food and going directly on juices is very harsh, and it can harm the body if prolonged uh, indefinitely without a training. So I'm sharing this and warning about this because I go to many pranic festivals and pranic gatherings. I have joined more than 5 this year, I guess. I don't remember it exactly, but about this number. And I meet many people who want to go on this type of diet, and they sometimes exceed in forcing their body, without the proper training, without the proper detox, without the proper understanding about this works. They just force it and go without food, and they have issues that I I have therapies with people on this, because they need to know how to balance their bodies back to health, and do a proper training for this. So the main thing to know is that you need a training, and you need to train your body, mind, and emotions to be able to have this system of nourishment. Otherwise, you need solid food. I tell this to all my friends and to all them that attempt this. So the next question would be, how do we go to a lighter diet without harming the body, without having issues in our tissues? How do we do that? Well, we shared at the beginning of this program and in the presentation of the program, the Pranic Consciousness Training, we shared that there are common steps that most of the pranic people are taking in order to be able to be nourished in this way. So it's about the lifestyle, but it's also about the steps that you do in your day-to-day rhythm to nourish yourself by energy, because energy, yes, it is everywhere, and it can be absorbed in our body, like plants do and so on. But we need to have the proper training in order to be able to crack ourselves open to this type of energy, and to transform it into nourishment, which is a process in itself, and it needs training. Most of the people who have this in their blueprint or have practiced this in other lifetimes, at the subconscious level, at the and at the emotional, know how to do this, but they have to remember and they have to retrain the body in this lifetime to be able to harness this ability again. And besides retraining in terms of attaining this energy or opening to it and harnessing it, because we are like a device or like a battery in the end, and we are nourished from the above and below with the yin and yang of the universe. So besides remembering and retraining our body how to do this, the lifestyle is also a very important aspect. So the way you live every day, the way you maintain an open and you know um, holistic attitude towards life and towards your day-to-day practice adds a lot to your nourishment, to your daily nourishment, into your pranic nourishment as well. So to hope, and I've written this in all my articles, to hope that you can have 8 or 10 days at the computer or in a very busy beta state, no matter what work you do, without the physical training, without the emotional training, and without the energy training, some energy practice that you have to do every day, and to hope that you can live without food in this rhythm is, nonsense. It's impossible because the body needs to be in the state of being opened towards the pranic field. Improper rhythm or in an improper environment or life rhythm as well, your cells tend to close down and to contract in some way, and they don't receive the necessary amount of energy to be able to be fully nourished and not need the physical food. So I hope I show this as clear as possible. And please tell us if you have any questions so far, or any comments, or any insights that you'd like to share with us, because it is interesting for us to know what's your opinion about the what you heard. Um, so if you want to share your opinion, you have the chat box to the right of the video, and you can share there your insights. You can share there your questions and whatever comments you have. It's interesting for us to see, live feedback on what we're sharing here. And if there's something you would like to know in particular about how to get about the lighter diet or how the pranic nourishment works, please also feel free to use that chat box to commune and communicate with us. We have communed heart to heart, but words are also important. So we said that there are exercises that have to be done every day, and the lifestyle is also important. This pranic consciousness process is about the exercises and the lifestyle that you need to apply in your day-to-day life to be able to maintain your pranic nourishment. And we've created this process because we saw that many people go home after several trainings, like the pranic, the 8-day training, the 10-day training, the 21-day process, and so on. They go home and they expect to maintain this pranic state for an indefinite period of time, sometimes without changing their lifestyle. But imagine that you're on a hill, in a retreat, in a supported environment with all the people doing this, with the training, a trainer or facilitator that supports your energy fields for you to be able to spend 9 or 10 or 21 days without physical nourishment. And there you are fully supported. But when you go home, you might go to a different environment, to a different rhythm, to a place that is no longer in nature, to a group of people, family, friends, and so on, co-workers who are not aware of this reality and are not supporting it mentally, probably on the contrary, are contradicting it and fighting back at you if they see you are not nourished normally. And when you go home in that situation, your pranic levels go down, of course, because you're not in the same energy field and you're not in the same rhythm, and that's very normal. So, what is there to do? That's the next natural question. What's there to be able to maintain that rhythm? Because you've maybe tried it and you liked it and you want to continue, and you would like to maybe not give up physical food but to have the freedom of having both, like a hybrid car going also on gas and electricity. No, we are hybrids after all. What's there to do? So the pranic consciousness process that we're sharing now is sharing exactly the methods that we need to apply in our day-to-day lifestyle to have this pranic percentage of nourishment. Because of course, in the second workshop, we shared the breath test, right? Where you could measure your pranic percentage and know to what level, to what degree you are literally nourished by prana. Mm. So if you applied this breath test, you saw that you could check my body is now being nourished by prana in a percentage of 20%, then you went up to 30%, then 40%, 50, 60%, 70%, until you reached your percentage and you knew how much you are literally nourished by energy. You were able to measure that. Those of you who are not familiar with the breath test and do not know what it is, you find it on our YouTube channel. So if you type the breath test on my channel, you will see that it's described there in English and Italian and in Romanian. So you can know how to practice it and measure your pranic percentage. So I was going to say that by measuring your pranic percentage, you can see that it can vary, from one day to another, from 1 month to another. When you change your environment, your pranic percentage might drop or increase until it stabilizes and remains at 100% or more. It can have ups and downs according to what you are doing and what you practice at home. For example, for me, I was at a very good pranic percentage 1 month ago when I returned from the last pranic gathering that we had in Spain. And I was going on solely on one juice a day or one smoothie a day. And then after having changed my home, because in the last 2 weeks I had to move and come to a new place and a new workplace and carry all my luggage and so on. And I still have half of my house in boxes. I can't find anything. Uh, while I was doing these changes and adapting to this new environment and cleaning in and adjusting the energy fields in order for the support that I need and so on. While I was doing this, my pranic percentage has dropped a little, and I could sense that my body was a little weakened, and I maybe needed a little snack once in a while, just to go a little denser in my body, and not denser as energy, but ground myself. So because I changed my environment and I was really, really tired, not getting enough rest, not getting my normal lifestyle, which is a few hours of meditation and qigong and yoga daily. Because I was not doing that, my pranic percentage has changed a little, and I'm now bringing it back to normal. But because I was able to measure and because I'm very much in contact with my body, I know when it drops. And I know what to do. Maybe I have to take one hot soup every day, to balance my energy, or to take some beetroot juice, or even something denser. So it's always about flexibility and being in tune with our rhythms and in tune with our bodies, and not being, rigid in the idea that this body has only to be nourished by prana, and you refuse to take anything else, even if you're weak, or even though you are fully nourished by prana. When the energy levels drop a little, you can use superfoods or food supplements. The you can take some herbs, some maybe oats. Oats powder or wheat powder, so on, just to balance, and add it in your water or in your smoothie just to balance your energy. So not being rigid about this is the first very important step on your pranic journey, because the pranic journey is about the flexibility and allowing and relaxing so that prana could flow through. So the first and foremost important step is to be aware of your body and what it needs. Okay, and to sense your rhythms and to measure, always measure the pranic percentage. You don't have to be obsessed about it and measure it every morning like take your temperature, but when you've done some changes in your life, or you traveled a lot, or you had some busyness in your activities, you can measure back and see where you're at and see what you need to do to adjust it. Then, so first is awareness. Second is lifestyle. The lifestyle that we have is crucial for us to be able to maintain this lighter diet, be it vegetarian, vegan, or juices or prana only. Every change, every shift we do from one to another needs to be supported by the lifestyle. So I will describe a little what we mean by that and give you some insights on what to do, but you have it all in this pranic consciousness process, because all the lifestyle steps that are necessary for that we know of, that are necessary for pranic nourishment are in this pranic consciousness process. Lifestyle means including the appropriate activities in your day-to-day life, the appropriate practices in order for you to be able to maintain as much as possible your brain waves in the alpha theta state and in a relaxed state, so that your cells can relax as well and your breath can function normally, and the body can allow prana to circulate. So the main thing about pranic nourishment is the mind rhythm and how to maintain this rhythm, this brain frequency in the appropriate state, so that you can literally allow pranic nourishment in your body. When your mind is tensed or agitated, it is literally impossible to stay only on prana. You need physical food, because the beta busyness of the mind brings along the state of hunger or the state of not being nourished, and you need to take some physical food to be able to compensate when you're too much in the beta state. How to get to the alpha theta state through our day-to-day life? Well, as we said, we recommend a lot the meditation, and we've talked about it in the first pranic consciousness webinar. We recommend a lot the mind mastery and how to observe and recalibrate the mind and the mind patterns, so that we can literally um, function in the direction that we want to imprint in our lives. We recommend connecting as much as possible and be staying in communion with the universal force, with our divine self, with our spirit guides, so that we receive the right energy for the pranic nourishment and actually be nourished in our day-to-day life. We recommend consciously lightening up the diet, so informed about the possibilities of being nourished in a different way and going from lighter to lighter, just to be able to allow this body to relax and function with a more refined fuel. What do we mean by lighter diet? Well, you literally take it from wherever you're at. If you are omnivorous, you eat meat and vegetables and all the stuff, you can go to, from red meat to just white meat or just fish, for start. Then after a while, if your body is comfortable and if you're feeling okay, you can then go to a vegetarian diet, which is what I did 7 or 8 years ago. Well, the first thing I did it at 17, so 17 years ago. But then I went fully on vegetarianism 8 years ago. And that was one of the most important steps in my life, because it was then that my anger management became more efficient, and my mind became more structured and more focused and more and clearer. That was the first big important change in my personal growth, evolutionary journey. Then you can go, if you went to be vegetarian for a while and you went along with it and liked it, and the body enjoyed the feeling and so on, and you can have hundreds of information, videos and so on about why it's good to be vegetarian, why it's good to not consume meat, and we'll tell you about this in this workshop as well. Well, after you had the information and after you tested it and saw how you feel with it, you can then try and go, or your body will naturally go on the vegan um, diet, or not consuming any animal products. Not just because it's bad for the animals, not just because we hurt other people in this other beings in this process, but also and mainly because the energy you put in your body is not that harmonious, and it's not that light. It's not as light as in a vegan lifestyle. And the lighter your diet gets, the more light circulates through you, the more energy is able to permeate through your cells and radiate out of you. The lighter your diet goes, the purer a channel you become for this energy that circulates all around us. And it's a beautiful feeling to have. And that's the main reason I become vegan. You know, not, of course, I care a lot about the animals. I am profoundly hurt to see the unconsciousness of humanity in regards to how they treat other beings, or beings that are considered weaker just because they have no voice, or they have no way of speaking out their feelings and emotions like animals do. You know, it hurts me profoundly. But the main reason for me, it was the energy flow and being a pure channel. That's what motivated me. Then second, it was the uh, way we impact other beings, and the way we impact not only humanity but the planet with the animal products consumption. So um, it's not that bad if your pet was grown organically, and you maybe helped your cow while she was also giving milk to her baby, but you took some to maybe make some butter, and that's it. But you raised that cow or that sheep or that goat, whatever, in a harmonious environment and with kindness, and you didn't just use it for food, but you collaborated with her and helped her as well. But that's one thing. And it's a totally different thing when people just raise animals for their benefit and for taking the milk and for cutting the babies of the animals and cutting the animals at the end. That's a different approach, and it's a very negative impact for the human civilization. People do not think that much in terms of how this impacts the civilization, because they used to think on short term, on materialistic based term. But what I need to share about this is that Buddha said that we're only gonna evolve as a species when we're stop using other beings for our benefit or pleasure. So we're only gonna fully evolve as a species when we will stop using other beings for our benefit or pleasure. This is the main reason for some to go vegan and vegetarian. Using other beings for our benefit or pleasure includes animals, but not only, because it's a wider range of inclusion here. And that's what Buddha said, and he's fully right. Because what goes around comes around, and whenever you're using another being for your benefit or pleasure alone, without having a good intent on it, you are creating a wave, you're feeding information into the universe, and that information comes right back at you with the same or even sometimes a stronger wave of energy. And if you don't stop, the reaction will go on forever. And it's what some people call the laws of karma, but I just call it the natural laws of cause and effect. If you harm other beings or use other beings for your benefits and pleasure, it's pretty normal that you're going to get used or abused at some point in your life. And if you look at your life, you will see that your frustrations towards some aspects might come from that perspective as well. If you make the connections, and you connect the dots and you go deeper with the cause and effect, awareness, you might have surprises. So going back to the diet, that's the first place to start. And because it's very easy, you just don't take milk anymore from the supermarket. You just don't take the meat or the fish, which is also, when people ask me, do you eat meat? And I say no. Then they ask, what about fish? Well, fish is meat as well. It also comes from a being. So no, I don't eat fish either. um, Whatever has life, and the face and the profile, the way I say it, is a living being, and it shouldn't be used for our benefits or pleasure. It doesn't matter if they agreed. It doesn't matter if that's been our culture for hundreds or thousands of years. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is what energy you put in your body, how it impacts your energy field, your emotions, and your thought patterns, and how your physical body feels in terms of health and digestion and so on. These are the four reasons, and the fifth one is the cause and effect report, because what you do comes back at you always. That's the point with vegetarianism and veganism. And another important point that the Indian yogis and sages have always talked about is the energy purity of the energy information that you put in. Because when you use a plant-based diet or sattvic diet, the way they call it, that's the type of nourishment that brings peace and calmness and self-awareness to our mind and body. When you use an animal-based diet, when food is literally imprinted with the emotions and the thoughts or fears of the animal, before dying and so on, and when you abusively take the milk from it and from its calves and so on, which is generating frustration in that animal, your food is imprinted with that information. So you're feeding into that energy information that goes into your body and into your mental and emotional field, and it's generating the same types of thoughts and emotions in your body. So it's not a common way to think of it, but it's true. And if you think of energy in terms of information and how it circulates, then you know and feel that this is right. So these are the main arguments that we have for vegetarianism and then veganism, and the steps to go to a lighter diet, of course. Then when you are comfortable with veganism, and you got used to it, and you integrate it into your life, and you no longer crave for cheese and milk and so on, which this craving, by the way, the craving for cheese and milk, you might want to check it, those of you who are confronted with this, it's usually a lack of calcium. And because we've been so deeply educated that calcium comes from cheese and milk, your body naturally starts to ask for those uh, um, food types just to make sure it has enough calcium. But if you go and directly take the calcium, or you take the calcium from a plant-based diet, like cashews and persil and chickpeas and broccoli and the figs and so on. All the you can check on Google all the plant-based diet foods that have calcium in them. If you do that and you normalize the levels of calcium, you'll probably stop the cravings on milk and cheese, because your body doesn't really crave for cheese. It needs the nutrients behind it and the energy behind it, which usually is the calcium in that case, And also you have to know that the cow milk actually does not bring the necessary amount of calcium in the body, but instead it depletes the body of calcium, because it creates a certain effect in the body that stops the cells from assimilating the calcium. So it's a weird thing to find out, I know, but it's true. So if you want calcium and you're not of the vegetarian diet yet, you can use goat milk. It's better adapted for the body, and it will not cause the same problems. But my point of view is that you can safely get rid of the animal products and use plant-based calcium sources, or even a food supplement if the depletion is severe, just to complete and normalize the levels, and then get over the dairy altogether. Because I know after meat, dairy is the second most severe craving in a penny person's diet, and it's for some it has been hard to overcome. So this is why we do this recommendation. While when you trained your body to be fully on prana, you no longer need these these aspects, these gains. Second, after going to a lighter diet, which then after the veganism, you can go to raw food, so not cooked food, and you can make the transition directly or smoothly, according to how your body is taking it. Some people do it smoothly because they have if you have some issues with the spleen or the digestive system, the raw food might seem a little too much at first. If you are only doing raw food, it might cause some issues, some spleen aches, some stuff like that. So you must combine it with soups and warm drinks to be able to recalibrate the spleen, which doesn't like cold food and doesn't like raw food if it's unbalanced. If the spleen is balanced and the digestive system is okay, you can directly go fully raw food and use not cooked products for your lighter step. And the way you can, follow this for as long as your body needs and feel great about it. I know many people who are raw food practitioners, and they are beautiful beings. They have a very high levels of energy, and they feel great, and they handle it very, very well. And the foods they make, because you might think the food is not tasty in a raw food diet, no, the food they make is literally amazing. So you might want to try that for a while. And don't just try it at home and go to a few leaves and a salad, and you'll soon get to the conclusion that it's not tasty at all, and it's not fun to go raw. And people don't usually know what to eat when they go vegan or when they go raw, they have this issue of mixing, some leaves and some vegetables, and not tasting that great and not feeling that well, and they get the conclusion that it's not healthy or not fun, and they quit. What I would suggest is, go to a raw food restaurant at first, try some items there and see how you feel. I was lucky to have in my city a raw food place in our food court at the mall, and I could go there and taste various types of food, or finger foods, and taste various types of dishes at a very affordable price. And this got me familiarized with the raw food approach, and I so which was very different with what I was having at home, because at home I didn't really know what to cook or use. And that's how I got used to making pates from seeds and nuts, and making raw soups that are really delicious. And I'm still using raw soups now. And I got used to adding seeds and grains to the salads, which I was not, and sprouts, which I was not using before, and they got delicious. And the dressings that you can make in a raw food diet are also amazing, and they can add savor to your dishes. And that's how you keep it raw, because it tastes like, if it tastes not appealing, and it looks, and it makes you feel not good, then you'll quit it really quick, because our body wants to have fun in this world and to enjoy stuff. So raw food, it's a sensitive subject. Just taste it and test it and play with it. And the sweets you can make from raw stuff, mixing peaches with dates and with a little cinnamon and with a little, marble syrup and some banana. And you have the most exquisite, some raisins, maybe you have the most exclusive dessert. And not a pinch of sugar, so you can't feel guilty about it. That's the amazing part of raw food, and you can use it, with full trust. I'm going to check on my rabbit now, because yeah, it's okay. Rabbit is holding the workshops with me, so, and the webinars, and he's also next to me, but he sometimes draws my attention. Yeah. So raw food is a sensitive step. Test it, taste it, have fun with it before deciding, how it's good for you and how it's impacting your state and your diet. For the health is amazing. Not cooked food is the first food that actually has nutrients, because they are preserved. They are not cancelled away by fire. Fire burns, and it also burns the nutrients in your food. And it's really nutritious. It's really energizing. Try having raw food for a week and tell me how you felt after, because it's really an energy booster while you have this rhythm. Then you can slowly go to juices. You can slowly go to juices and see how you feel about them. And transition smoothly. Like, for example, do one juice a day and one raw meal a day, and see how you feel. Then do two juices a day and a little raw snack. Or, if you're bigger and you're used to more food, this is my diet, but no, if you're bigger and you're used to more food, do several juices a day and just a little raw snack. Then you can transition to several juices a day and um, one snack every 2 days or 3 days, whenever you feel you need something denser, and see how you feel about that. Then you can transition to a week of juices and a snack in between, and so on. And you do the transition smoothly, so that you can adapt to it and not scare and stress your body. And you can go back and forth and test this and test that and see how you feel, and literally play. You know, the life is a play. It's not about rules and rigid mindsets and stuff like that. So you just play with it and until your body adapts, you know. If you had a process like 10 days, 9 days, 11 days, 21 days, and you've already got used to only using liquids and you liked it, then you go back home, and if your body is requesting physical food, don't go directly to pizza. You know, I've seen so many people, and I have to say this because it's, you know, it's scary sometimes for me. People that have had a process, you know, no matter how many days, and then they go back home or they go to a restaurant with friends, and they have, you know, directly they have chicken wings or pizza. That for the body is a hammer in the stomach. Don't try this at home. It's scary for the body to go directly from juices or just water to go directly to a diet that is as dense. You don't want to do that. You can in on another aspect, you can go and take a little snack, you know, or soup at first. After the process, if you're needing some physical food, take a soup first. You know, it can have some vegetables there, or it can be fully blended, you know, just creamy soup. Take a soup first, let your body adapt and adjust. Then if you still need some physical food, take a raw pate or something that you don't need to chew or digest too much, and you know, use that, and you know, add some nuts maybe, or something. If you need to chew something, you if your body feels like it needs to remember how good the digestion felt, you know, I don't really like it, but if your body needs to remember that, take some nuts, some almonds, some cashews, something lighter, you know. Don't go directly to bread and you know, I literally saw someone taking chicken wings after a process, and I was scared of what it would happen in her body, because she was pushing her body towards something that, you know, was not natural. You know, after you've adapted to liquids and you've purified and your digestive system has finally relaxed, you can't go and pollute it all of a sudden with things that are not, you know, beneficial for it, you know, because it will harm it. It will it's an instant rush of toxins going in that your body doesn't know what to do with, you know. So you might want to look into that. So go lighter if you want. If you need to go back to food for a little while, just go very, very light at the beginning, and you might, you know, want to stay light altogether, you know, not go back to pizza, not go back to meat-based diet. You might want to stay on that very light soup and creams and pates and maybe some you know, bruschetta from well, every once in a while, but very, very light. You might want to stay on that. You don't necessarily eat from the emotional perspective and go directly to the foods that you used to do before. That's the first lifestyle step that you have to include after a pranic process, you know. Just try to maintain it in a lighter, purer zone, you know, with the food, and think really seriously of the amount of toxins and waste material that you want to put in your body, you know, after a process, especially after you detoxed it and finally cleaned it and, you know, helped it to get used to this lighter environment and to light as nourishment. You might want to think twice before you pollute it again, you know, because it's your temple. And the next workshop, the next webinar, next Wednesday, we'll talk about how to treat the body as a temple. But for now, just hold that thought. You know, your body is your temple, and every time you choose the food, you might want to know what to put, what what you put in from that perspective. It's very important. Um, so going lighter, going into a process, going out of the process. Let your body adapt and adjust. If you still need physical food, use very light, healthy physical food because you've cleaned the house. You don't want to put the garbage back in, and it will help it a lot, to maintain the pranic levels if you don't put the toxins back in. And speaking of the toxins, because we are at the lighter diet workshop, I need to say that you can only have a lighter diet when your body is free of toxins and parasites. That's the first two things that we have to get out of the house in order for light to be able to come in and stay. So toxins and parasites need to be cleaned. And I just wrote an article. Actually, it's the beginning of my new Pranic World book, which contains the Pranic detox methods. And I've spoken about how to detox your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental body in that article. But today I will refer a little to the physical body detox because it's very important to be able to preserve a lighter diet. When your body is full of toxins or when it's full of microorganisms that request toxic food like parasites do, it will not be able to hold the pranic state and it will not feel comfortable when you have healthy food. It will request for junk food because that's what parasites are used to be nourished by, the waste material that you produce from junk food. That's their nourishment. So you might want to clean and detox first and then maintain the healthy diet so that you don't bring in more toxins and more parasites. And some people are wondering, do I really need to do a parasite detox? Um, because they don't feel they could have this in their body. And my answer is that yes, if ever you have had animal products, if ever you have used meat as nourishment, yes, you fully need a parasite cleanse. And yes, if you ever been traveling a lot or lived in the past few years, then you need a parasite detox. That's for sure. What to use for that? Well, we have very beautiful naturist shops in our countries, and they have mixtures of plants that work with parasite detox. I can recommend the thyme, the well, I wish I'd remember all the names in English because they are special plants. The thyme, the sage is also good for parasites. The aloe vera is excellent for parasites. It also cleanses the body after the parasites have ceased to live. What else? There are some spices that come from Egypt or Persia, but I don't know their names. They look like little needles, or and they are very strong as flavor. But please go to your nature shop or go on Google and check for parasite detox and find the best method for you because there are hundreds of versions there. I recommend natural parasite detox. I recommend using natural food supplements or naturist mixes of plants that you can find in any natural-based shop in your country, and use that, and then make sure you do a flush or a cleanse at the end, after a while, just to cleanse out the area and make sure your digestive system has evacuated the waste material that resulted in that cleansing. And what's keeping your body you know that's what makes your body a right environment for pranic nourishment and for prana to stay in, because otherwise you just can't have and hold prana in your body too much, because there's too much garbage in it. So you have to clean up the garbage for the light to enter the house. And I just posted the article next to this video in the link, so that you can see how to access. You can see various pranic detox methods there. I've spoken also of emotional detox, mental detox, and so on. But you also have the ingredients for the physical detox that you might need. So do the detox, do the parasite cleanse. You can do periodically an enema or a salt water flush, to remove all the things that are stuck in your body, as in terms of matter, but also in terms of energy, because an enema or a saltwater flush not only flushes out the waste material, it also flushes out the bad energy that it might be accumulated in your body. So make sure you use that as well to be able to cleanse your body and make room for more prana or more healthy nourishment. And you will see, after you do these steps, you will see that your body is naturally going out of cravings, or not craving for the same stuff. You will see that it feels lighter. It wants lighter food, and you will also see that if you try to put uh, heavy food in your body back in again, you will have a not so good reaction, because it's cleansed and it smells good, like a house. When it's cleansed, it smells good, it's all decorated. You can't bring garbage in the house, because you instantly notice the smell and the change in the atmosphere. That's with the body as well. Once you cleanse that, it wants to stay clean, so it will request for the things that are beneficial for it. And when it's not clean, it requests for the things that are not so beneficial. It's a cause and effect natural situation. So include a periodic cleansing and detox, no matter how healthy you eat. I only eat fruits, and when I did an energy scan with a professional device that scans the body at the energy level and at the level of vitamins, minerals, and so on, when I did this scan, they discovered pesticides in my body, and I was having a very, very healthy diet, a fruit-based diet. But guess what? The fruits had pesticides. So and they also discovered heavy metals, uh, because the water you drink or you use for bathing might have them into it. If it's not purified water or and so on, and you might accumulate that in your body and not be aware of it, and at some point you need to take that out as well. So there is a mineral called zeolite, I hope it's the right term for it in English, that you can use for removing heavy metals from your body, and that's also very important, and enema is doing that as well. So you see, pranic nourishment is a lot about lifestyle and cleansing, not only about doing a process, a lot about lifestyle and cleansing, and using the right food supplements. When your body is not fully on prana, you might as well uh, replace some of the heavy food you're using, or some of the food you're using, with food supplements and superfoods. I mean, when I say supplements, I refer to superfoods, like the powders, like the green powders that we have in the specialized shops, the chlorella, the spirulina, the oats powder, the wheat powder. you might want to include them in your smoothies because these are also detoxing and nourishing your body. Then, second of all, you might want to include a lot of citrus fruits, so oranges, lemons, and so on, because the vitamin C is also supporting in some way the photosynthesis, and it's very good for, I call it photosynthesis, like in the plants world, because it's actually the ability of converting light into nourishment. So using a lot of vitamin C is very good for in extracting it from fruits and juices. It's very good for maintaining and attaining your pranic ability. Using watermelon is a very good thing because it cleanses your kidneys as well. And the kidneys, which are the other detox factory in the body next to the liver, are sometimes too cluttered to be able to preserve a good pranic level. So you might want to cleanse them and use watermelon as often as possible in your juices. You use it alone without other fruits because it's doing something with other fruits. You might want to use it in your diet because it's very, very good detox, and it has a beautiful taste as well. Using turmeric and other alkalinizing products like lemon with water and so on to alkalinize the body is also outstanding for the pranic nourishment because prana only integrates fully in the body when the body is relaxed, and relaxed also means an alkaline state. So you want to alkalinize the body to be able to hold the prana. In an over acidic body, prana will not stay. So alkaline diet is what you want to do. And if you're already on fruits and smoothies, just check for those fruits who are bringing more alkalinity to your body, and you will see that you'll have different results in just a few weeks and or maybe days also. Um, so that's the basics on going to a lighter diet. But the lifestyle has a very important place. Like I was saying, you can't expect to go vegan or go on juices and feel well about it if you're spending many hours on the computer or in a very agitated rhythm, because your body will feel depleted if you do that. Your body will feel depleted and it will crave for heavy foods and carbohydrates and so on, the way the body usually does when it feels tired, and it will not be able to hold the pranic levels. So, including time for relaxation in your day-to-day life. And when I talk about relaxation, I don't necessarily mean you dropping off on a chair or a couch and spending 2 hours there. You might, not have the possibility to do that in your daily rhythm today. But I mean the mind relaxation first. And that starts with, simple steps like when you're driving your car, don't think about all the nasty things and that happened to you during the day, or all the complicated things that you have to do in the continuation of the day. Don't do that. Just try to repeat some mantras or try to um, express your gratitude for the beautiful things that happened, or try to listen to some beautiful music while you're driving, or sing a beautiful song just to be able to relax your mind. That's the first step. You might have to drive through a very agitated traffic day, but if you have this in your car, in your environment, nice music, nice mantras, good thoughts, then your body becomes relaxed, and it allows prana to flow. The relaxation starts from the mind. If you're at your office and you're doing some complicated tasks at the computer and so on, Nothing can stop you, except if you're in a very harsh environment, nothing can stop you from listening with your earphones, from listening to some relaxing music, And we'll talk more about it in the last webinar, which is about how to tune into the pranic field with music. But for now, just know that the sound has a wonderful impact on your body, and it can literally relax and change your state in like that. And you surely have noticed it if you ever listen to your favorite music. So add music, add some time for a walk after work. Don't go directly at home to children and responsibilities and family and so on. Just take 10 minutes for yourself, somewhere in nature, somewhere in a park, somewhere on a bench. If you don't have a park near you, just stay in the fresh air and, marvel at your breath. Just follow your breath and marvel at how many things are happening while you are breathing. Just spend these 10 minutes into self-awareness and into connecting with the environment around you. And if you add that in your daily, you will have a big difference in your inner state. And your alpha theta state rhythms will become more present in your daily life. And that's what holds the pranic percentage high. Um, Whereas opposite in an opposite direction, your permanent agitation towards what you have to do or what you did or did not do gives your beta frequencies high, which lowers the pranic percentage. So add these small things, these small steps, and combine it with the lighter diet to be able to support it and help your body feel nourished. Because otherwise, if you're too tired, if you're drained, if you're frustrating for not having enough time for yourself or not taking enough time for yourself, because we make time, we don't have it, we make it. If you're frustrated and guilty for the lifestyle that you have, you won't be able to harness enough prana, and your pranic percentages, like I said, go low. So music, take some silence time. You don't have to speak all the time. When you have a day off, just shut up. I shut up one day a week, without any with rare exceptions, of course, but usually I don't make an exception if I'm at home, if I'm in my country. I take one day off from speaking, because my job is speaking. And sometimes I need a holiday. My vocal cords need to rest. So silence is a beautiful way of harnessing more prana, because this area is finally resting. And also the mind is resting. If you don't have to chat all the time or reply back all the time, or think of the next line that you have to add in the conversation, your mind is also resting. So that day of not speaking, and we'll speak more about it in the one of the next webinars, that day of silence is gold for your pranic percentage and your pranic intake as well. Also, do kind things for others and see how you feel. But don't just do them for you to feel good. Just do it because you can. And after a while, just observe the inner state, how it changed and how it maybe had a leap, with that. Do something for someone just because you can, and just feel how it feels to have helped someone in a selfless way, and that brings more prana in your body as well. And last but not least, like I said, music. These simple steps, like I said, it's 8 steps and it's very simple. But once you add them in your daily life, the diet goes light, because it has nowhere to go. Because if you're peaceful and calm and detoxed and cleansed and relaxed, and or at least have some relaxation time every day, your body will naturally request for a different type of fuel. and that's where you're able to go lighter and lighter and feel good. While as when you're in a place of resentment or discontentment or frustration all the time with your lifestyle and with the things that happen to you, your pranic percentage cannot stay high in that state. It's impossible. So, if you have any questions so far, please share, because I've spoken and spoken, and I've seen you going on and off, maybe losing connection from time to time, but now it's time for you to talk. What you have to, what you want to ask, what you want to know from this workshop. Maybe tell us where you're from and your name, like I suggested in the beginning. That would be a nice thing to see, especially for the new ones. That would be very, very nice to know for me, because I literally want to know how wide this thing is going, and how many people are literally present, and are able to make it at our evening workshops, because we're still looking at the best method to deliver this workshop. It has been live, it has been online, it's also on video, it has been included in pranic process, so it's everywhere, and we're looking at the best method and what's the best method for you to be able to cope with it better, you know. So if you're not having any questions so far, like I see you don't, I want to grab some water and then go into meditation with you and share a brief guided meditation and see what's coming for your pranic intake today. But before that, I'm going to get some water, because water is very, very good conductor for energy. And I like to have some water before and after meditation just to recalibrate my body. And I would recommend for you to do that if you can, of course. So just one moment for me to get a cup. In the meantime, you can follow your breath. Thanks a lot for your patience. And thank you for your understanding. It's not always common that someone interrupts in the middle of the webinar to get water, but this is what I do. What I suggest for you to do is to relax, keep your body in a comfortable position, as comfortable as possible, because we're going to start meditating, and it's good for you to have as a body as relaxed as possible to be able to only focus within. So start following the breath as you go deeper with it, and you can close your eyes just to be able to focus within and focus on our suggestions. And with your eyes closed or open, however you feel comfortable, just imagine that you have a light column around you from the center of the universe to the center of the earth, and that you are breathing the color or the light from this light column, allowing it to enter your body with every breath. So breathing in, you breathe in the light from this light column. Breathing out, you breathe out the worries, tensions, thoughts, concerns, whatever is not beneficial for you now. Breathing in, you breathe in again and observe or notice or imagine this color around you. The column is wide with a diameter like your hand stretched out and surrounding you. And you breathe in this energy, this light from the light column. Breathing in, we bring in more chi, more energy, allowing it to flow into the body. We allow it to flow into the abdomen as well. We let it flow down without pushing it, just flow down. Breathing out, we breathe out the tensions from the body, the energies that no longer serve us, knowing that this column around us is pre-programmed to dissolve, transmute, transform everything that no longer serves us and transform it into beneficial energy for us now. Breathing in, we bring in more love, more energy from the center of the universe into our body via our breath. Breathing out, we breathe out all the tensions, concerns, and we literally feel our body relaxing. Imagining that we are on an armchair made of feathers. We allow these feathers to caress and hug our body in this armchair. We see our body relaxing from the soles of the feet, the ankles, relaxing, surrounded by the light column around us. The thighs are relaxing, the knees, the calves. See or feel or sense the energy of the light column surrounding your body, relaxing every cell. Relax your waist, the lower back is surrounded by light. The abdomen is surrounded as well, all relaxed in this armchair of feathers. Your upper abdomen and upper back are also relaxing. The chest is relaxing, the arms to the tips of the fingers. Fully surrender in this column of light. The neck is relaxing as well, surrounded in light, releasing the tensions. The unspoken words are fully transmuted in this light around us. Relaxing your chin and jaw, the tongue, the mouth. Relaxing the nose and the cheeks, the eyeballs, the whole face, the forehead is fully relaxing in this light. The ears are relaxing as well. The lower area at the back of your neck, at the back of your head, fully surrounded in light. Your head is fully relaxing to the top of the head, to the crown, to the tips of your hairs. You are fully relaxed in that ease in this light column. You visualize or imagine the light sphere, the light center you have in your heart. Sense it, feel it, or observe it as it grows wider with every breath. So at the center of your chest, you have a sphere of light that is representing your heart chakra. And with every breath, this light in your chest becomes brighter. Feel or sense this light increasing and visualize you having a connection cable through the top of your head, connecting you with the center of the universe. So from the center of the universe, comes down this connection cable to the top of your head and down into your heart, fueling this heart sphere, this heart chakra with the most appropriate fuel, energy for you now, the energy of divine love, or universal life. Allow it to flow into your body with every breath. Bring it in. Visualize the heart chakra expanding as you draw light and energy from the crown chakra as through a straw, through this light cable into your heart. Feel it expanding, healing, releasing tensions, receiving this love. Allow this light to then radiate out with every exhale through your whole body. Bring it in with every inhale from the center of the universe into your crown chakra and into your heart. And then with each exhale, exhaling it into your cells, into your organs, into your whole body systems, endocrine, nervous system, and so on. And exhaling it out into the auric field and out into the universe, feeding back the universe with this love light from your heart. Nourishing back what you've been nourished with. Breathing in, drawing in more love from the center of the universe into your heart chakra, into the sphere inside your chest. Imagine or visualizing or sense it becoming warmer or rotating or vibrating higher or expanding in some, because that's what it does with every inhale that you bring in. Energy, love, light from the central sun, the center of the universe. And with an exhale, radiate it out into your cells, into your organs, into your auric field, and out into the universe. Bring this energy to your lower abdomen, lower centers too. Allow it to flow into the three lower centers and into the perineum, and allow it to then flow some of it towards the center of the earth. You imagine from the perineum growing cables or roots into your legs and then through the soles of the feet down into the earth, flowing down towards the center of the earth. They head to the heart of Gaia. And once they reach these two cables, then once they reach the center of the universe, the center of the earth, sorry, you can connect with it like you're connecting to the heart of Gaia through your own heart. Feel or sense this pulsation that the heart of Gaia has. Feel or sense this vibration that is exactly the same as the human heart of 7 point something hertz. Allow it to literally nourish you back through these roots. You have the third one from the perineum down into the center of Gaia. And through these roots, the energy is also as love going up towards the soles of the feet, then towards the feet, the ankles, the thighs, the calves, the thighs, the knees, of course. It goes up, this energy from the center of the planet, from the heart of the universe, of the earth. It goes up towards your perineum and towards our perineum, and it feeds the first chakra and then goes up to the base of the spine and then up through the spine, up to the top of the head. The top of the head is nourished by this energy, and the body is fully fueled with this energy from the center of the earth. And once the body is full, it radiates out into the universe and bursts out like a fountain through the top of the head, surrounding us with the best love and light, the best energy, which forms like a shield or a cocoon around us with the magnetic field of Earth, of Gaia. It is supporting and embracing and protecting Mother's love. You can have it in and all around you with every breath by connecting to the heart of Gaia or to the center of the earth each day. That's called grounding, and it grounds the energy from the center of the universe from the cosmic heart into the human heart and into the earth's heart. And then the earth's heart replies back at you with her love, nourishing the system. And you have a mixture of this pranic nourishment from the yin forces of the earth and the yang forces of the universe coming into your heart, mixing there, forming your fuel, your nourishment, allowing your body to be nourished with this fuel at every exhale, recalibrating the yin and yang energies in your body, recalibrating your system, recalibrating whatever it needs to be recalibrated in your auric field, balancing the yin and yang energies. And we allow this nourishment to be or daily nourishment with this meditation. You can daily connect to the center of the universe and the center of the earth and receive this nourishment into your body. But you need to know and acknowledge the fact that this is nourishment for you, that energy is nourishing your body, and we program now our bodies. I ask that from this moment on, you can repeat after me or just say yes, however you want to do it, but just know it's programmed once you open to it. I ask that from this moment on, my physical body, emotional body, mental body, and all the other bodies are nourished with the energy that is most beneficial for each one of them now and from now on. I therefore allow for this to happen. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. So I ask that now and from this moment on, my body is fully nourished by and all of my bodies are fully nourished by the best source of energy for them now. So my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, and so on are all nourished by the best nourishment for them now. And from now on, this is their way of nourishing themselves only with the best energy that is most beneficial for them now. And I trust that my bodies know how to do that. I trust that my bodies know how to do that. And with this programming, we know that from now on, the body will request you mostly the things that it needs. And if your mind wants something else or thinks something else, you have to just overcome these programs or programming and be in tune with your body and listen to it and only choose the foods that are, requested by it and that is beneficial for it. So I ask that now and from this moment on, I am only nourished by the best, most beneficial nourishment sources for me now. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. So once we did this program, just have the courage to respect it. Know that it is so. So you can come back with your awareness in the room now. You're fully present in your body like a hand within a glove. You might feel this new programming tingling somewhere or just recalibrating your system, or if not, it's just being done without a notice. So feel free to share your insights after the meditation or share another aspect that you would like to share. So people always ask, where do I get my nourishment from if I don't have physical food? Or to start with, where do I go? Where do I get my nourishment from if I don't have animal products? That's the first question. And we can tell you that there are several sources of B vitamin, of calcium, of omega, of protein, and so on, and iron, and whatever you think you might need. There are several sources, very beneficial sources in nature, in the plant-based diet. And there's hundreds of websites all over the internet explaining you how to get your calcium and protein from a plant-based diet. and how to get the amino acids and the vitamin B that is considered to be lacking in a vegan diet. Well, check and see that you can go and get it from, for example, yeast, an activated yeast that is very good vitamin B resource, and so many other stuff like, for example, omega. Always people ask, I need to be nourished by fish because I need omega and the omega groups. And please know that the nuts and the seeds and the sunflower seeds and the oils extracted, cold pressed, extracted from the seeds and the olives, all are rich in omega. And if we talk about omega 6, that was omega 3. If we talk about omega 6, you can find it in sunflower seeds in abundance, an abundance of it, and in hemp and so on. The calcium. Try the green vegetables, the persil, the tofu, the sesame. The sesame is very rich in calcium. Also, the cashew. If you've seen the cashew, it looks a little like the bones, at its structure in some way. It's not long as a bone, but it's structured in this way. So it's rich in calcium, and you can use it, and you can even do, cheese from it, and so on. The proteins. The proteins are in almonds, are in tofu, are in avocado, are in cashew again, the spirulina and all the types of algae, you know, kelp algae and so on. You can use them for protein. And it's good quality protein, very easy to extract, as opposed to the animal protein that is consuming more energy than it's adding in your body. And you have to know this. You are consuming, those of you who eat meat, of course, consume more energy for digesting and processing the food than they get from that food itself. So it's a not beneficial energy management with that. You have calcium in also chickpeas and in broccoli, as I was speaking about it. And wow, there's so much to share. The figs, like I said earlier, the sesame, the tahini paste that you can use, to nourish yourself. And also the iron and the zinc and so on. There's plenty of resources that you can find in nature, that you can find in every vegan site that will teach you how to add it if you're at that step in your diet. If you're in a pranic diet, and you're trying not to have any physical food, respect your body. That's the first step. Check your body with the pranic percentage, the breath test. Listen to your body and follow its wishes. If you're, you know, have started the pranic process and you are on the path, maybe with just juices or only liquids, water, and you feel some craving, do not be afraid of it. Don't stuff your face with the things that you're craving, but you know, take a taste of it. Maybe it needs to bring up a memory. Maybe it needs to bring up an understanding, and it's connected for sure with some emotional aspect of your life. Because food is mostly, feeding is mostly emotional, most of it. Some of it is also necessity to the majority, but most of the food that you're doing and what the food companies are based on is emotional stimulation. So if you need a piece of chocolate, just take it already. It's not going to break the vow of pranic nourishment, and it's not going to take you into, if you're strong enough and conscious enough, it's not going to take you into going back to food again. It's just a pleasure and a taste. And I've been at dinner with people that were nourished by prana with for 14 years maybe without the need of taking physical food, and they had some stir-fried vegetables and nothing bad happened to them because they were stabilized and they were confident and they just wanted the pleasure of taste and sharing, And there was no problem with that. Just feel free. It's a game of freedom. And if you are, if you have started a pranic diet for the freedom of using whatever type of fuel you might want, if you started it for freedom, don't forget to stay in that freedom. And if your body needs to taste something or the emotional body needs to taste something, just feel free. As long as if it if this is not becoming a habit, just feel free to give it that taste or that pleasure, because it is a game of pleasure. And if the craving continues, do a lot of breath work and detoxing just to see, and maybe a therapy session just to see what that craving is about. What's her message? What's your body trying to connect to through that type of food or craving? What's its message? Because anything that happens in the body is a message for us. Every request, every rhythm, every movement, every pain or craving or thought form or whatever, this is a message for us. This is us evolving, discovering, and tuning into the universe around us. Don't blame it. It's part of your humanness. It's a healthy way of being pranic. It's being free from the necessity of being pranic. So check this out, because I'm going to say it again. Being pranic, and the best part of it is being free from the necessity of being pranic. And only when you're free of the necessity of being pranic, then you are fully into pranic consciousness. Because pranic consciousness is not about eating or not eating. It's about the freedom. It's about the kindness and the love that you radiate out, and the type of energy that you send out into the universe. And it's about the responsibility that you might want to take, for whatever it is that you're manifesting with your body and your thoughts and emotions and so on. That's the pranic journey and the pranic consciousness. Yeah. So maintaining a lifestyle that keeps you into the alpha state or theta state is what encourages the pranic intake and holding a lighter diet. Detox is crucial, to sum it up. Detox is crucial for the lighter diet and removing the parasites. So I told you about the detox method. Please find it on our website at the home section or in the link next to the video. There's plenty of information there. Uh, Keeping a nice, healthy life rhythm with time for yourself, insights and meditation, so on, is something very important for a pranic diet. When you have a pranic process or a fasting, and I told you I will talk about the intermittent fasting as well, but I'll keep it brief. When you had a fast or pranic process or just a time with no food or just liquids, if you're craving for something, don't just jump right into it and jump right into very dense physical food. You will hurt your body, and you will, for a while cancel or constrict the pranic programming that you did in that workshop, because your body is seeing you eating again and it understands, okay, this one wants me to stay adapted to this type of solid food. So I don't know what he or she did the last 10 days or 21 days, but if it's giving me solid food now, it means it wants me to go back to hybrid again or to physical food again. And, you know, it doesn't need necessarily the intake of prana that I've been managing to harness. That's what the body needs. That's the very thoughts. If body has thoughts, that's the very thoughts of the body. It's like, what is she or he doing to me? He gave me light and prana and juices so far. Now he gives me pizza. What should I do? Okay, maybe I should convert it into calories. I don't know. No, the body is confused. And I've placed 2 new articles on our website stating and proving that actually the intake of calories that we that people take through food is not even by far equivalent to the amount of calories that one is consuming every day. So it's actually an unaccounted source of energy that is proven to exist and that is fueling the body except from food that everybody is using. And what they also seen is that the longer, the faster, the bigger this quantity of energy is. And that's amazing scientific discoveries. You have the studies on our website and the references to the scientists that have done the studies. You can see the actual proof that the more you lower the energy intake through food, the higher the energy intake through direct prana goes. But not without the proper training. We always repeat that because we know how dangerous it is to just stop eating without the proper training. So I will always repeat that. Do the training, do the process, hold your life rhythms in a harmonious pace, and your body will naturally request for lighter food or no food at all. And if you're not hungry and you're not craving, don't push your body into eating just based on the idea that you need to eat every day, three meals a day and two snacks. It's impossible for this period, for this time of human evolution. For most of us, it's impossible because our body have evolved from carbon to crystal, so they are lighter, and now they literally need lighter food because it's part of the human system evolution. That's why. That's why your body naturally requests you to go to a lighter, to go lighter, to get rid of the junk food, to get rid of some habits that you might having around food, and to really listen to it and to give it exactly what it wants. For a while, my body just wanted for this Easter, for example, my body just wanted avocado and melon. That's all I could eat in very small amounts and not much because otherwise I would cough a lot and I would have literally pain in my throat. So all I could eat was a little avocado or a little not watermelon, the yellow melon. That was it. And I had to listen to my body. If I would go in my mind and said, it's impossible for you to eat just one avocado a day and ride the mountains like I did, because I was traveling the mountains and hiking that back then. If I would listen to my mind, I would harm my body. But my body was clear to me. Whatever I tried to swallow except avocado and melon, it will cough like crazy and I couldn't take it. So it was very clear. So don't wait until you get to a very extreme condition to go to a lighter diet. Just take it slow and listen to your body. And if your body tells you to quit eating French fries, then that's what it wants. And the craving is just maybe emotional or habit or whatever, but go back to health and know that this is possible. Okay, so I've chatted a lot. That's 2 hours of webinar, no questions. That's interesting. So this means everybody's cool with what's been shared and the amount of information. The new ones, welcome. Two or three new people have just joined. Please share your name and location just for us to know where you're from and to be, in touch with you if you want. I am really passionate about communion with the audience in these workshops. And no, hi, Steph. Thank you for writing to us. It's good to see you again. Steph has followed all the workshops so far, and she has joined the full pranic consciousness process. And I'm grateful for her presence here every workshop and sharing, her insights with us. She has shared beautiful testimonials every time. So I love you, Steph. And the new ones, who are you? How did you find out about the workshop? Do you know about the process? Would you like to know more? There's a link here right above the video, which is telling you more about how to join. Oh, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Nice to hear from you, Guido Cati. It's so beautiful to see that people so far away are joining us. So, Guido, if you want to know more, this is just one webinar of the pranic consciousness process. I don't know if you know about this, but there's still much more to learn about this. And we have a whole series of 8 webinars that we can, provide to you. And we meet each Wednesday at 8 p.m. And we have this beautiful sharing about different themes of the pranic consciousness process and a guided meditation each webinar. Hi, Yana. It's wonderful to see you. The webinar is just about to end, but you are still able to watch your replay here on this page. It's free until midnight, so just make sure, Yana, that you then go to my YouTube channel and watch it from the beginning, because it's a lot of good information. And also check the links that I've placed here in the at the right of the video, just to know that you have access to the. This is just one webinar from the pranic consciousness process, and we have 8 webinars going on each Wednesday, so you can join the whole process and know more about to lighten up the diet. But you have all that information in this webinar as long as you replay it and listen to it, because we've shared for the last 2 hours, we've shared that information. It started at 8 o'clock, so 2 hours ago. Hi, I probably, Yana, you've been familiar to also the 10-day process there. I don't know if you've done it. I've just had some contacts with the Israel people, and I'm happy to see that you're here. Well, anyway, to sum it up, what we shared in this workshop so far for Yana and all the new ones, we shared that lightening up the diet is going from vegetarianism, so normal diet, to vegetarianism, then veganism, then raw food, then maybe juices, and then gradually go to very light juices and water if you feel like going pranic. So going gradually might be important for some of you, and not try to jump directly from a normal diet to juices. It will be shocking for the body, and you need some detox in between. We've talked about the detox methods. We shared some of them in the webinar, and some of them you also have in my website. You have the links to my website here to the right of the video about your comments. So you can see there all the detox methods for the pranic, for the physical body, for the emotional body, and for the mental body as well. And you have all the answers there. So detox is important. Taking it gradually is important. If you had a 10 days, 9 days, or 21 days process, don't force your body to you know, go on normal food right after, because it will harm it. Go slow. If you want to go back to food again, go slow. Go to soups, go to snacks, eat light snacks and pates made of nuts and seeds first. And then if you need solid food, just go very, very light, because you have already detoxed it through the process and you don't want to put toxins in it again. So just that, and maintain a lifestyle that supports it. And we shared about the lifestyle during the workshop, so replay it and see it all to see what's shared. And also, those of you who have just joined and maybe saw via YouTube, feel free to make a donation if you want to support our work, and also join the whole process, which is shared in this link that I'll share here. Just join the whole process week by week or fully, because it has a lot of insights for you. And each webinar we share a new method to go to a lighter diet and stay focused on prana instead of food. So I've summed it up the best way possible for you, Yana, but there's much more information in the shared in the last 2 hours. Any other questions or insights? Any other people who want to share where they're from? If there's no more questions or insights or comments, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Watch the replay. It's available for free till midnight. Then you can go on the link that I shared with you and join all the other webinars. And many hugs of love to you and many thanks. This is my email that I'm going to share in the chat here. You find lots of information on the YouTube channel and on the website, Soul Healing Academy. Lots of articles about how to maintain your pranic level and the scientific proof for that. You find a lot of specialists talking about it in the Pranic Consciousness Summit, the summit that I've organized online, where I interview all my pranic friends and other specialists. And there you can find all the answers, seeing all their methods, everything that they have lived and experienced, their challenges, their ups and downs, special methods that they've been using and techniques, and all that they share in our interviews. We've interviewed so far more than 20 specialists in this pranic area and scientists, like Nassim Armim, and doctors in this intermittent fasting field of research. And we're going to have more like next week on November 23rd. We have founder of the Pythagorean school that has been on prana only since 93 or 94. So imagine she's called Mirit or Mira Omerzel, and she's an amazing light being doing recalibration with music. So you might want to watch the Pranic Summit package and know her and know more about our work with the Pranic research. So this is what we offer, and this is what we are. So feel free to join us more. Find more information on our website, find more video on our YouTube, and please support our work with your donation or with the full participation to the Pranic Consciousness process, because it's an amazing journey to be with, and it's online, so you can join it and watch it for as long as you want from the comfort of your home. So you find all the links on our website. If you ever lose the link, go on our website, soulhealingacademy.com, and go to the events page, and there you find all our workshops and webinars. So that's all about the pranic diet so far. Many hugs of love to you. Namaste to all. So glad to meet the new ones, and a big, big heart of prana. This is El Trayan, seeing you all next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Bucharest time for the next webinar. The next theme is how to treat your body like a temple and exercise, do the right exercise to keep it fit and keep your prana flow, and how to nourish it and harmoniously pamper it so that it can intake more prana. So it's going to be a lot of juicy information about self-love, good exercise, and body pampering and pleasure. So stay tuned. See you next Wednesday. Bye bye.